Hello and welcome to Lorraine Shorts. Just a short session of Pilates. Just going to be a nice, easy, gentle session today. And all you're going to need is a pillow for your head when we do sideline work and a band. And that's what you're going to need. So, I'm just going to start off lying down onto the floor, making sure that you've got your feet, your knees and your hips all aligned. Make sure your spine feels nice and long and your arms are released down by your side. And I just want you to start off with a few nice deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth, nice and gentle, but allowing your rib cage to swing out wide each time that you inhale. Breathing in and breathing out. And I want you to also use that out breath to feel your body just sinking down into the floor and letting everything just release. So we're breathing in and breathing out. We're going to start to add a little pelvic tilt to this to start warming up around that lumbar spine. So next time you exhale, our lower back will just press down into the mat and then release back through to the center as you inhale. So again, as we exhale, lower back gently presses down. And then we release it back through each time into that neutral position in the pelvis. So we're breathing out to tilt and breathing into center. Let's do that one more time, just letting that pelvis tilt back and then return it back into your neutral position, resting on your sacrum. And as we continue with the breathing, let's start to add on the next in-breath, the arms just floating gently and effortlessly up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, they float back down. So which means every time you float those arms to the ceiling, your ribs can swing out wide. And again, releasing down as you exhale. Let's do that twice more. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in. Good. And breathing out. Hold the arms there and let's go straight into shoulder bridge. So next time you exhale, I would like you to tilt back through the pelvis, sink your whole spine down into the mat, and then start to peel up through from your hip bones, one bone after the next, all the way up and into your bridge. Holding it there, breathing nice and wide, and then coming back down on the exhale, and releasing through again into your neutral. Let's repeat that again, breathing in, and breathing out as we tilt and peel up, trying to get as much movement through your spine as you can. Bringing yourself up into your bridge, right to the bottom of your shoulder blades. Breathing deep and wide, breathing out again to release it. All the way back down. We're going to do that a few more times, really to warm up through that back. So we're tilting and peeling up. But this time, once you get up to the top there, I'd like you to use your in-breath to float your arms up to the ceiling. The arms stay there as we release back down, upper back, middle back, lower back. Return through into your neutral, and for the moment, just float those arms back down beside you. So we're going to do it a few more times, moving into that spine, working all those muscles around the spine. But this time, once you bring your arms to the top, turn the palms in towards each other. So once you've brought yourself all the way back down into your neutral, use your in-breath to open the arms out to the side. And they're going to rest down on the floor at the side as we go into our next shoulder bridge. Tilting, peeling, rolling all the way up. And again, floating those arms to the ceiling. On your inhale, releasing back down on the exhale. And again, once you've got down there, those arms go nice and wide as you breathe in. We're going to do it twice more, just tilting, peeling, feeling it a little bit easier Each time you do it, floating the arms, releasing back through the spine. And again, letting those arms reach to the side. Just one more left to go. All the way up into your bridge. Floating those arms, coming back down again. Through that spine. Lengthening back into neutral. Arms float to the side, but this time let them just rest there. They're coming straight out from your shoulders. I'd like you to walk your feet together. I'd like you to bring your knees together and your inner thighs together. So we can go into hip roll. So let's breathe in. And as we breathe out, we start to drop the knees to the side. Remember, your top foot will lift because it's glued to the underneath foot. Your head rolls in the opposite direction. And you hold that stretch to breathe in. And as you breathe out, drawing down through the middle, you're going to bring everything back to the center. So breathing in, breathing out, dropping those knees, rolling the head, looking again out towards your outstretched palm. Breathing in, breathing out, drawing down through your center and bringing it again back to the middle. We're going to do that 4 more times. Breathing in, breathing out. Now start to think of your knees going slightly to that forward diagonal. So we're pushing and really opening now right through the top and the front of that hip. Breathing in and out again as we return it back to the middle. And remember, every time we return it back to the middle, we come back into neutral pelvis. Don't allow your back to arch when you're doing your hip roll. Breathing in and breathing out. We've got a couple more left to go. In breath and out breath. Pressing it away. Opening and stretching through the side. And every time you breathe in, breathe into that hip if you can. Returning it back to the middle. In breath, out breath. Breathing in, breathing out, returning it back to the center. Once you get back to the middle, I want you to bring your feet a little bit wider so they're back aligned again with your hips. Let's float your arms back up to the ceiling. And the first thing I want you to do from that position is use your in-breath to lift one arm a little higher. Let's try and take that shoulder blade right away from the floor. And as you exhale, release it down. And feel it spreading towards the outside edge of your mat. Same on the other arm. We're lifting, opening up through the shoulder blade, and again releasing it down as we exhale. Let's do it again. Lifting on the inhale, releasing on the exhale. One more time. So just feel that upper back becoming a little bit wider, a little bit heavier. Every time you do that movement, let's turn your palms to face forward. So keeping the neck nice and long, as we exhale, one arm floats back. And we're stretching right through to the fingertips. And then we float that arm back up to the ceiling. And on the other side, we're just reaching the arm back, stretching right through to the fingertips. And again, floating the arm to the ceiling. Let's do that one more time on each side. This should feel effortless as we stretch between the top of the shoulder right through to the fingers. That's good. Next time we're going to do it with both arms at once, reaching back. Not allowing that back to lift or arch away from the floor. Not letting the pelvis alter its position. As we stretch it through. We're going to do it one final time. And this time we're going to be reaching those arms as far back as you can comfortably take them. Bend the elbows and cradle the back of your head. Now remember, you want to be able to see your elbows in your peripheral vision, and you want to keep your head nice and heavy in your hands. We're going to try and keep the pelvis still, and as you exhale, the head is lifted. The shoulders are lifted. We're going to try and draw your ribs down towards your hips, and then releasing it back down again as you breathe in. So as you breathe out, we lift, we squeeze. So we're not tilting back to the pelvis, we're trying to keep that pelvis nicely lengthened. So again, we're going to lift and squeeze. And release it down. And lift and squeeze. And you can just continue doing those if you'd rather not add anything else. But if you can, next time we're going to also peel one foot away from the floor and we're going to draw the knee in. And we're going to do it without tilting that pelvis if you can. It comes down as you breathe in, we change to the other leg. Coming in as you curl and releasing it back down again as you inhale. Breathing out. And breathing in. And again, stick to this version if you prefer. Otherwise, we're just going to do a little bit of work for your obliques. So as you bring the knee in, you're also going to twist towards that side. You can rest on the shoulder blade if you find that easier. And on the other side, twist. And then this can be made a little bit harder if you don't release the head all the way down. You can if you need to, but otherwise, just come to the middle before again, you squeeze and twist. And we're just going to do 4 more of these. Let's twist. And release. And twist. And release. Twist. And release. One more to go. Twist. And release it this time all the way down onto the floor. I want you to bring your legs in, one after the other. Hug them in towards you. Give your back a little bit of a stretch, a little bit of a massage as you just rock side to side. Lovely. And then bring the feet down one after the other. And we're going to be rolling now over onto your sides. So you're going to need your cushion or pillow underneath your head. And you're going to bring yourself down and make sure your head is nice and relaxed, nice and comfortable. Underneath leg will be long, your top knee will be bent and resting down onto the floor. Both arms are going to reach out in front of you. Make sure the shoulders are down. Now make sure you've got a lovely long line through that spine. You should be able to just slip your fingertips underneath your waist so you're not pressing down into the floor. Keep that sense of lengthening. And with your arms reaching out in front, when you're ready, as we inhale, top arm will lift and it'll open. And you're going to take it as far back as is comfortable. Making sure you keep that top hand in your eye line. As you exhale, you float it back down. And again, breathing in. So we're getting some rotation through the spine, some lovely stretch across the chest and across the shoulders. And again, releasing it down. So we're breathing in. Opening, stretching. And breathing out to close. Breathing in. And breathing out. We're going to do that a couple more times. Just lifting and opening and stretching it back. Closing it back down. Make sure that top leg stays down and still on the floor to stop you over-rotating. And then once you've brought that final one all the way back down, we're just going to relax the arms. We're going to bring the top leg onto the bottom leg, but we're going to bend both legs. So we've now got a little triangle position from your hips down to your heels and to your knees. We've still got the length through the spine. We've still got a little pick up under the waist, and we're going to go into clown. So we keep your heels together. And as you exhale, we start to press that top knee up. And then release it down as we inhale. So we're going to press and release. So the most important part of this exercise is to make sure that you don't move that pelvis. So we're keeping that pelvis completely still. The hips stacked up, one on top of the other. So each time we start to feel a nice little bit of work right in the middle of that top buttock. That's it, good. We've got 3 more of these, so we're going to press and release. Press and release. One more like this. Next time though, we're going to be lifting the whole leg up. So we're going to float the foot as well as the knee. And release. And we're going to lift. And release. Press. Good. And press. Excellent. 4 more to go. Squeezing it up. And squeezing it up. And as long as you don't move that pelvis, you can make these as big or small as you like. 1 more to go. Lifting, but on this final one, we're going to bring it halfway down. I want you to bring that leg slightly closer in towards you, and imagine you've now got your knee against the wall. You've got a little piece of chalk right in the middle of your knee, and we're going to make some little circles on that wall. So we're going to circle it round for 4, 3. So we're lubricating right into that hip joint. 2, and 1. Let's go back in the other direction. So again, we're circling for 4, 3, 2. And that felt good enough to repeat it all over again. So again for 4. Circling it round. For 3. To keep it on that wall, so you keep that hip long. That's it. Nice. Back in the other direction. Last 4. Last 3. 2. Good. And 1. Bring it back to the middle. And then just release all the way down. Excellent. We're going to be repeating that on the other side. So you can either just roll over, or of course you can bring your pillow or your cushion up the other end of the mat. So once you've got yourself back down there, your underneath leg is long, your top knee is bent and resting down onto the floor. Head is heavy and relaxed, arms reaching out in front. Don't forget that little press away through the hip, which means you've got that tiny little pickup underneath your waist. So as we inhale, top arm lifts and it opens and you stretch it all the way back. And then closing it back down again as we exhale. Breathing in, lifting, opening, stretching. Breathing out to release. You do it 4 more times, lifting and opening. Good. Never losing sight of that top hand in your eye line, so we don't put any strain or stress through the neck or the top of the shoulders. Just a lovely stretch right through the chest, the arm. Nice. 1 more left to go. Good. And once you have brought that final one again, all the way back down, relax the arms, keep the head relaxed, and bring the top leg onto the bottom leg. Remember that little triangle position so your heels are underneath your tailbone. We've got that little pickup around the waist, we've got those hips stacked up one on top of the other, and as you exhale with your heels together, let's start to press that top knee up and release it down. And we press and release. Press and press. 4 more like this, keeping that pelvis completely stable. as we squeeze. Good, and every time you lift that knee, you can also think of pulling in a little bit more through the centre. Just reinforce that connection each time. That's nice. Let's do it with a full leg lift this time. Pressing it up. Pressing it up. Making it as big or small as feels comfortable for you. And lift it. Good. 4 more of these. Squeeze. 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 Lovely. 1 more to go. Lifting, but this time we're going to be bringing it halfway down. That leg should be parallel to the floor, but you put it a little closer in towards you. And with your little piece of chalk on the knee, that's against the wall in front of you, we start to make those circles. And we go for 4. And 3. And 2. And in the other direction for 4. And remember, if it ever gets too much, you just stop and you rest. 2 more in this direction. That's it, good. Let's repeat it again if we can. So again, we circle for 4. For 3. For 2. And 1 other direction. For 4. 3. 2, good. And final one, bring it back to the middle, draw it in, relax it down, and if you need to, you always give those muscles a little bit of a rub. Okay, we're now going to be rolling over onto your tummy, and we're going to be going into a little bit of extension with our swan dive. So the legs are going to be in a soft V position. Your arms are going to be on the outside of your mat. Please remember to keep these small to begin with. So we're going to breathe in to prepare. And as you breathe out, remember to pull up from your centre, press down into the pubic bone, press down through the forearms, and feel your whole body being lengthened before you float your head, float your breastbone, and come to the bottom of your rib cage. And then releasing back down again on the next breath. So we're going to be pulling forward as we draw up from the centre, float the head, float the breastbone, get that extension, that movement into your upper back, and again, releasing it down. So it's allowing your upper back to get movement. And please remember, stick to this level. If this is enough for you, you should not feel any kind of pain or discomfort in your back in this exercise. But if you want to work a little harder, you now squeeze your bottom, you press the legs away from you, start to peel a little bit higher. You may find you can come up halfway. You may find you can come all the way up. And then releasing it back down again on that next breath. So we're going to be pulling forward. First extension, continuing up if you can into your full extension. And again, releasing it back down on that next breath. I'd like you to do this 3 more times. Remember, they can be small, medium, or large. Whatever suits your body best. All the time, though, think of that gentle work around your centre. Squeeze your bottom if you're coming up all the way. Let's do it just one final time. And once you have brought your final one all the way down, you can either bring your forearms or your hands under your shoulders and then just gently come up and bring yourself into rest position. Your knees are wide, your bottom comes as close to your heels as is comfortable. You can walk your fingertips forward. You can try to bring your chest a little bit closer to the floor. Breathing in, breathing out. Lovely. Then walk the hands in towards your knees. Swing those legs under. And bring yourself a little bit further forward on your mat. Make sure you've got plenty of space behind you. I also would like you to use your band. So we're going to go into roll up. So those are people who don't need the band to begin with can do a few without the band. Otherwise, I would like you to place your band underneath your feet. Your knees can be bent because I want you to be sitting up tall on those sitting bones. Remember, you can also lengthen the legs if you can stay on your sitting bones. Either way, we're going to be breathing in to prepare. And as we breathe out, we add a little tuck under through that pelvis. And we start to slowly roll down towards the floor. And you're going to try and place each bone down, one after the next, lengthening through. Your head barely touches the mat before it lifts you up to your feet, and then you gently peel yourself all the way back up again, nice and tall. So we're breathing in, breathing out, tucking under, slowly coming down, using again all that lovely movement through your spine, lifting the head, looking forward, and again, just peeling all the way up. So if you weren't using a band before, you're going to need it now, because I want you to have your band just on one of your feet. Now your underneath leg can be bent or lengthened, doesn't matter, but the leg that's in the band is going to act as a counterbalance, which means we're going to sneak in a little stretch for your hamstrings as well each time. So as we exhale, we tuck under. We slowly start to come down. Your leg will start to lift. It will float up as you slowly place each bone down one after the next. So I want control on this one. And you can draw that leg in towards you. But now as you inhale, lift the head, push away with your heel. Slowly coming all the way back up again. To bring yourself up tall and onto those sitting bones. Breathing in, breathing out, tucking under, and again coming down. Make sure you're not locking out the knee of the leg that's floating up. And of course, remember, if you come down and your head is not comfortable, your neck's not comfortable, use your pillow underneath your head and just keep it there so it's there ready for the stretch. Because the next time we come down, we're going to be staying down there for a moment. We're going to be tucking under. And again, slowly, gently rolling down towards the floor. We're going to be drawing that leg in, and we're going to hold it there. Now, if you don't feel a stretch in your hamstrings with your leg lengthened, if you can only feel that stretch at the back of your knee or in your calf muscles, bend the knee a little bit at this point. Draw that leg a little closer in to see if you can try and get that stretch right into the belly of the muscle around those hamstrings. Either way, whether that leg is bent or lengthened, as you now breathe in, I want you to lengthen through the front of the foot, the ankle, and push those toes towards the ceiling, and then we're going to draw the toes down as we breathe out. Let's do that one more time. Breathing in. Lengthening through the foot, the ankle, and the shin, and then breathing out to draw it down, hold it there, continuing to breathe. Good. But the next time you now breathe in, I want you to lift your head, push away with your heel, and we're just going to slowly come all the way back up again into our seated position. And once you get there, we're going to swap those feet over so we can just repeat that again. So in breath, out breath, tucking under, slowly coming down. The leg acting as a counterbalance, not locking out that knee joint. Keeping it long, but not locked. Try to draw that leg in towards you if you can. Lifting the head as we inhale, pushing away with your heel. Exhale, again, gently, slowly, with complete control, coming all the way back up tall. Breathing in and breathing out. Remember, the neck stays long, the shoulders stay down. Don't take that tension elsewhere in the body. Drawing the leg in, lifting the head, pushing away with the heels, squeezing navel to spine. Slowly again, coming all the way back up. Nice and tall on this final one. We're going to be staying down there. So slowly down. Drawing that leg in towards you and holding it there. So same thing, remember, if you cannot feel the stretch, bend the knee a little bit, draw a little closer in. And either way, we're holding it there, and next time you inhale, we're just going to lengthen through the foot. And as we exhale, we're going to draw down through those toes. And again, we're going to lengthen as we breathe in, drawing it down as we breathe out, holding it there, still breathing. Lovely, but this time, instead of coming up, we're just going to release the leg down. Going to pop your band to the side. Make sure both knees are bent. And I want you to cross one leg over the other. Now you can cross it knee over knee, or you can cross it ankle over the knee. It doesn't matter, whatever suits you best. You're then going to tilt back through the pelvis, draw the legs in towards you, and hold wherever you need to, wherever you can, for a nice stretch going right the way around the hip and around the glutes. And I just want you to hold it there for a moment as you breathe. Good, nice. Let's release that down and uncross the legs so we can do it on the other side as well. Knee over knee, ankle over the knee. Tilt back, draw the legs in, hug them in towards you. Just holding it there as you're breathing. Try and let the rest of your body just release down into the floor. Good. And then just relax those legs down. Uncross them. Bring the knees then back in, one after the other. I want you to make sure you've got one hand on each knee, because as you exhale, you're going to draw the knees in towards you. You can even lift your tailbone slightly if that feels comfortable. The knees come away from each other, and you just circle them all the way around and bring them back into the middle. So we're going to draw the knees in, we're going to take them wide, bring it back to the middle. Do that one more time in that direction. Just again, rolling right into the hip, as well as getting a little stretch into the inner thigh. Let's go back in the other direction. Drop the knees, then draw them in and together, and release them down and wide. And again, in and together, and down and wide. One more time. This time, pull them into the middle and hold it there. And again, middle rock, side to side. Lovely. And from here, just bring those feet down, one after the other, onto your mat. You can, of course, roll your knees to the side, roll your body to the side and bring yourself up into a seated position. Or you can do it as a roll-up. You can lengthen the legs. You can scoop the arms forward and just bring yourself up into a nice, tall, seated position. And with your legs long or bent, bring your hand on the floor, arm to the ceiling, and I want you to lift up and over. And as you stretch through to the fingertips, push down into the opposite hip. And release it down. And on the other side as well, we lift and we reach and you push down again through into the opposite hip. Bring it all the way back to the center. Give your shoulders